Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So as promised in the channel update video last week, we are getting back to the read-throughs again this weekend. So like I mentioned in that video, we are getting to Black Hammer, Battle Angel Alita, and the next two volumes of Yona of the Dawn today. So initially so the reason the Yona of the Dawn volumes take so long for me to get through, do videos for, despite when they come out, is usually I try to get the whole through my library. Support your local libraries. It really does, provide a great resource to the community. So usually I try to order them through my library and then wait for the holes to come in so that I can go pick them up and then record videos for this and all that. Unfortunately, this time there was a weird hiccup. So I waited for my library to get the holes in, and they did. But for some reason, they got volume 40 ahead of volume 39. Which they still had listed as on order for some reason. So because I didn't want to wait for my hold to lapse and have to go through the whole process again, waiting a couple of more months to get everything back, I decided to just get Yona of the Dawn Volume 39 digitally, since that way I can just do 39 and 40 and not have to wait too much longer to react to the series and do some read-throughs for it. But yeah, with that said, I'm looking forward to it. I know it's been quite a few months since the last did read-throughs for the last volume, but I'm looking forward to it. You're also going to have to bear with me because I'm going to have forgotten a bunch of names. It's going to take me a while to remember all of them. So if I mess up the names or just use descriptors for the characters, I apologize in advance. But yeah, it's just the way it kind of goes. With all that said, like I mentioned, channel update videos and stuff, we're going to be having a lot of great content coming your way the next little while. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, it really does mean a lot to me to have all of your support. So if you'd like to continue that in 2024, and if you'd like to help me reach my new subscriber goal of 420 subscribers, that would really be greatly appreciated. Please, if you enjoy this content, please do leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell someone else, if they might enjoy my videos, tell them to check it out. But yeah, really greatly appreciate all of that. But without further ado, let us dive into it with Yona of the Dawn, Volume 39, Chapter 223, The Moment to Put Everything on the Line. And we have Yona going, the South Kai reinforcements were coming up behind the Wind Tribe. The South Kai reinforcements that were coming up behind the Wind Tribe seem to have stopped advancing. And I want to say the advisor's name is Kashuk. I'm not sure if that's right. He's like, you're right. Maybe the Wind Tribe is holding their ground. And Yona's like, I can't see very well from here. What in the world is happening? You see Hawk that's playing interception. And you have, I want to say this is one of the South Kai generals. It's been so long, I can't remember. He's like, are you really a South Kai soldier? Jeff, isn't that Lord Hawk? Is he planning something? You have General Kaji. I haven't seen the likes of him before. He said he was with General Ran's squad. It's like, I found him wandering in a nearby village, so I brought him along. Could he be a deserter? You have General Kaji. What's going on here? And you see Ran riding up, looking the worst for wear, very heavily bruised, dirtied up. He's got a bandage across one eye, his arm in a sling. He's like, General Ran. It's like, I heard the rumors, but judging from his condition, he must have faced a great warrior when releasing the flood. And Kaji's like, General Ran, you shouldn't be exerting yourself. Your timing is impeccable, however. Do you recognize this man? And you see Ran just looking at Hawk in shock. It's like, he claims to belong to your squad. And then Hawk started to play interception with, I didn't give you those injuries, did I? Who did that to you? You were such a strong commander, General Ran. Thinks back to the South Kai leader, Baldy McBalderson, going, despite unleashing that flood, you were still too practical to seize control of Kin Province. Ran, you're an utterly worthless commander. My rage cannot be contained. Die! Ooh, and you see him just Baldy McBalderson was beating the shit out of Ran. You have, wait, please, no more. Wait, please. No one is more loyal to your Imperial Highness than Ran. Give him another chance. He's like, oh? Go to battle and die there like a dog there then. And you see just blood pooling out over his eye as tears shedding, Ron's shedding some tears. And he thinks back to, I'm Hawk, a new recruit from the Sky Tribe. Even if you take my head, I'm nobody. Do you really want it? He's like, murmur. It's like, General Ron, what is it? He's like, I don't understand. He's like, you're still alive? It's like, I think fondly of facing you in combat. I only wish I hadn't survived, but he's like, I'm glad to see you again. He's like, how come? And Kaji's like, General Ron, is he one of your men? It's like, no. No, he is our enemy. He's a soldier from Koka. He's like, I knew it! How dare you infiltrate our army? And Huck's like, now, I can fight you guys head on. He's just like cracking his neck. And he's like, I brought him here. I'll deal with him. It's like, General Kaji, leave it to me. It's like, you're no condition for that. General Hitan would be dismayed. It's like, if I can hold these guys here, Koka's army will have an easier time. I'm in so much pain I could die, but now's not the time for that. I still have things to do. He goes, Hyungdae, back to your position. He's like, this is my position. I promised General Taeyu I'd defend the rear. He's like, oh, it's like, you're making me feel optimistic. He's like, hey, that's my line. You see with a whoosh and a clop, clop, clop. And he's just like smashing through the soldiers with his spear. He's like, I can't see. Or is he smashing through them with like the little flag bearer spear he has. So he just like cover one of the eyes of the soldiers. Like, I can't see. And you see whoosh as he uses the handle block sword blow from Kaji. So that means the mother and child who claimed your family are also criminals. They harbored someone from Koka and lied to me. It's like they tried to help a wounded man regardless of his country. It was admirable of them. You should be proud. So that child was a thief. You took what didn't belong to you. And what kind of general casually chops off a child's finger for theft? It's like, such things keep us from falling into disorder. You see Hawk just slamming him with the spear so hard he shoots him out of the horse's saddle. You have General Kaji! And you have an as he's flying over one of the soldiers. He grabs the spearhead to stop his descent, and the soldier's like flying back. And he comes to a stop. And Kaji just like comes sliding, skidding to a halt. He's like, good. He's like, is he? He's like, truly injured? As Hawk just like clops up to him, just casually just looking down on him. It's like, you can't maintain order without violence. That means you're using justice to conceal your brutality, or you've given up thinking about it. Either way, don't you think that's a bit extreme? He's like, shut up! You're lecturing me on the battlefield? And you see with a thwack as they exchange some more blows. He's like, Koka has its own history of violence and domination. Don't you know what Yuhan did? God. Well, this should be interesting. You see a giant as like Huck just overhands the spear into him. And it just like shatters through his armor and like lands into his shoulder. I'm talking about the present. I'm pretty sure... God. We'll talk about that at the end, I guess. I'm pretty sure that under Suwon's reign, no citizens have lost fingers for theft. It's like there are fewer people so starved that they need to steal. He's also done things I disagree with, but in terms of improving his people's lives, I trust him. And Huck's like, what am I talking about? Such an idiot. And you have shut up! It's like, say what you like, but Suwon is a horrible king. He stole Lady Maignan from Emperor Chegol. That was it. Chegol was Baldy's name. You see, as Huck just gets slammed with a kick in his head. He's like, oh, that's bad. My wound reopened. It's like, Maignan. It's like, she went to Koka as part of our delegation but hasn't returned. A woman so beautiful, he must have stolen her. Or else she's being held captive. And Huck's like, I'm pretty sure she stayed because she wanted to. It's like, ridiculous. She wouldn't. It's like, wait, you've met Lady Maignan? It's like, it's a long story. She's probably resting in the palace. She didn't seem to want to leave. And he's like, lies! Lady Maignan is Emperor Chegol's favorite concubine. I'm certain Suwon kidnapped her. It's like, not a chance, honestly. She's being fed, not being held captive for now. She's fine. And she's yeah! It's like, it's like, I nearly forgot. How fares the battle? We can't afford to lose here. It's like, I'll learn the truth directly from Lady Maignan. And you see him... Oh God, what the hell was his name? Sorry. My brain is just fritzing. Was it Kaji? Sorry, give me a second. Yeah, Kaji. Sorry, give me a second. Let me just get back to where I was. Yeah, so Kaji is brushing forward, and Hawk's like, crap, I'm in rough shape. If I can make one more strike, and you see with the flump, someone comes flying in with a thud. It's like, what? It's like someone came crashing. Ooh, god damn, you see Zeno completely battered and bruised and bloody. And Hawk's like, hey, Zeno! What happened? Zeno! He's like, it's like, oh, young fellow, you're alive. Amazing. It's like, you're a monster. It's like, same to you. It's like, why are you so hurt? Are you all in the battlefield? He's like, yeah. Arrows rained down. We ran in different directions to protect captives. Then a scary guy noticed Zeno. Couldn't escape. Ended up here. It's like, a scary guy? It's like, what? Still alive? It's like, the 4 dragons are entertaining. And you see blondie giant spear guy coming up. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. I'm sure we'll learn it soon. And he goes like, why, it's Ron and Kaji. Why are you slacking off here? And he's like, we're struggling without you. General Corral, why are you here? It's like, take a look. I stabbed him in the gut, but he's still alive and regenerating. He's one of Koka's dragon warriors. He'd be a perfect toy for Emperor Chegol. I thought I'd take him back with me, but no amount of maiming weakens him. So can't you do that later? Please return to your position. And Corral's like, you've sure gotten cocky, huh, Kaji? You were always sobbing behind Maignan. But she isn't here to take your beatings now. I see Kaji getting this furious look on his face. He's like, hey, you there. Tie him so he can't move. And Huck's like, about that. We haven't been introduced. Despite my clothes, I'm from Koka. And this guy you've been maiming is... oh, shit. See, this guy you've been maiming is my friend. You see the next one is he just grabs Corral and just slams him into the ground. You see all of the generals and Zeno just watching in surprise as you have chapter 224, Beyond the Limit. You have General Corral it's like, he's dead. Are you fucking shitting me? Seriously? Fucking hell, bro. God, I don't know how to feel about that. He's dead. He's like, the man I loathe most in the world. How unexpected. And you see Hawk just kind of wobbling as he falls off from his oxygen. It's like, Lord Hawk! It's like, how foolish. Why do I feel so light? This is the worst thing that could befall us. That man is severely injured. If we don't kill him now, he'll become a serious threat. And you see one of the soldiers riding forward with I'll take his head! And you see with the skiff as Zeno comes in to play defense. And he goes, it's my turn, young fellow. Get some sleep. It's like, what? And you see as Zeno's blocking the point of the spear blade with his dragon scales. It's like, my wounds are finally starting to close. And he just kicks the soldier down. It's like, that man was all but dead. Has his body truly regenerated? And he has a flashback to Maignan looking all beat up as Kaji's crying. He's like, calm down, calm down. I'm gonna save Lady Maignan. This time I'll save her. It's like, focus on the battle. It's like, don't concentrate on one man. Regroup and charge Koka's army. And Zeno's like, this is bad. I'll be fine, but the young fellow will be trampled. And you see the cavalry just riding up with a clop, 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 clop. It's like, stand back, Zeno. You have a gun, a gun. There's a bunch of Jehas, daggers are flying out of the air. And the next one you see Sinha also just using his little paralyzing powers to stop all of them. And Kaji's like, what? It's like, Zeno, we found you. It's like, you're both okay. And Jeha's like, look, I figured out how to use my... Oh, no, sorry, Sinha's like, look, I figured out how to use my power even after the recall paralyzes me. He gives me a lift. And you see, he's just on Jeha's back like a little backpack. It's like, wow, that's great. He's like, no, it's not. It's like, and the prisoners? It's like, General Guntei, Toku, and the others are conducting a rescue operation. We're leaving that to them. So I'm glad Toku and the others made it. It's like, typical, saving people right after nearly drowning. The pirates of Awa aren't weak enough to be taken down by a flood. Not they're as tough as you. It's like huh? Oh, fucking shit. Did they know he was... fucking sorry, it's been so long since I read the last volume. I can't remember the dragons remembered or nerd that Huck was alive or not. It's like, Huck! It's like, you dropped Sinha. It's like, you were here? You're alive? He's like, I'm half dead. It's like, you should have told us you were alive. It's like, yeah, so, alright, they didn't know he was alive. And you see Sinha just do like this open eyed, like death glare at Huck. He's like, I'm barely alive. He's like, Sinha, don't scare me. And he's like, Huck? He's like, yeah, I wanted to find you sooner. Much sooner. It's been terrible. And Huck's like, a lot happened that kept me from coming back right away. Sorry about that. And Jeha with a sigh is like, honestly, you're hard on the nerves. It's like, where's your highness now? It's like, with the king and his advisors. It's like, to keep morale up. With you missing, she cried her heart out. And Huck's just like taken aback by this. It's like, not that I'd know anything about that. It's like, but you just said. It's like, since you didn't cry in front of me. It's like, you stay here and rest. Zeno and I will handle this. Gijo's on a rampage elsewhere. It's like, White Snake? It's like, the enemy headquarters will fall very soon. And you see with the Gijo's just like swiping through soldiers. And you see Judo's also just like riding through as well. Yeah, General Corral! Where's General Corral? We can't hold out much longer! Jivna! And there's like just soldiers like just retreating. It's like, Corral's squad has no one to lead them, so we can't provide reinforcements properly. He's like, if only Val were here. And you have General Hitan! And then Fire Nation Bro, I can't remember what older brother Fire Nation Bro's name is. It's like, you've done well, but the Fire Tribe will take you down. It's like, the enemy's morale is high, but our army has many mercenaries who aren't deeply invested. Emperor Chagall would never personally set foot on the battlefield. Meanwhile, the level of confidence instilled by Koka's commanders is tremendous. And as they're exchanging blows, it's like, at this rate, we'll be obliterated for nothing. It's like, alert all troops, we're retreating! You have South Kai Imperial Army retreat! General Kaji, General Hitan signal to retreat! This guy have no choice but to withdraw. But I want to accomplish something. It's like, General Kaji, we should retreat! And he's like, please go on without me. And Ron's like, General Val has gone to rescue Lady Maignan. It's like, understood. And Zeno's like, can you stand, young fellow? It's like, Lord Huck, those are awful injuries. We need to get you to a doctor right away. Yona's waiting for you. It's like, Huck, the battle's over. And then Huck suddenly has like a light bulb moment. He's with a bam! He starts running up and running towards his horse. And he leaps on and starts running with a clop, 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 clop. He's like, clop, clop. He's like, General Kaji, behind you! And you see just like this murderous look on Huck's face. It's like, it's that man. He's looking at me. He's heading right for me. I can't move my sword arm. You see Huck with like his sword arm just drawn back. So he's telling me not to run. He's like, curse it all! And you see General Kaji is like just like heading towards each other to like play a game of chicken. It's like, South Kai retreat. Koka's army's victorious. Long live King Suwon. Long live Princess Yona. Like, despite the horrible pain I've been in, I was sure we could win. Huck risked his life to defend Kin Province, and thanks to help from Yona and the Dragon Warriors, we got out of a difficult spot in this battle. I was saved by the very things I discarded. You have, this way, Your Majesty, I've prepared you some tea. It's like, hurry. I can't remember what assistant bro's name was either. He's like, the war isn't over yet. I have to keep my body moving. And as Yona dismounts, she's like, where are the dragons? And she has like a thing of intuition. She's like, grabs her bow and knocks an arrow. Like, stay back, Suwon! A South Kai soldier's approaching! You see, clop, 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 clop. As, like, clop, clop, clop. At first she's looking at all murders, and then she has like a look of surprised recognition. As she sees Huck dismounting, walking towards her, looking all battered and bruised. Is that the fucking... oh, the senju beans. And he just grabs a bag of senju beans, just like holds it out to Suwon. It's like the senju before he like collapses onto him. As you have chapter 244 and you have chapter 225 Exhale. As both Huck and Suwon are just looking shocked, just standing there. As you have King Suwon, how are you feeling? He's like, I feel a little better. It's like, really? It's like, this is a decoction of the senju herbs that Yun fetched for us. It's incredibly valuable. Lord Huck took such care to protect it. He was so battered, though. It's like, amazing. I can't believe it's effective. And he's like, I'm sorry. The pain isn't completely gone, is it? And Suwon's like, the crimson sickness hasn't left me. But, and you're just looking like the blood-stained bag with the herbs that have been carried in. It's like, in that moment, I forgot my pain. You know what? I'm kind of like starting to lean towards like I want this to become like a throuple where it's like Huck, Suwon, and Yona kind of becoming a throuple. We'll see what happens though. And you see a Huck? He's like, Huck! It's like Yona, and Suwon's like, he's breathing. He's alive. And you see the rest of the dragons also coming up behind. It was like, right now. It's like, Yona, right now, Huck is... He's like, everyone. It's like, Huck came back. And he's like, starts breaking down and crying. He's like, he came back. And Suwon's like, he's warm. He's alive. It's like, Lord Huck. So Suwon is going, Lord Huck is still not Suwon, sorry, what? Assistant bro, I can't remember his name. Goes, Lord Huck is still resting. He's lost a lot of blood. He'll need absolute rest for the time being. And Zeno's like, you should all sleep too. Excuse me. He's like, our young fellow isn't the only one injured. Especially you, Green Dragon. He's like, don't say that while knocking back the booze. And Gija's like, that's right. Let us savor the miracle of Huck's return. It's like, the young fellow seems likely to wake up and drink too. When Yun's not here, you start talking sense, don't you, don't you, Zeno? He's like, oh, hush. He's like, Sinha? Sinha, what's wrong? He's like, ow? He's like, oh. You see just like these high beam like headlights shooting out of their eyes. He's like, oh, one drink made him lose control of his power. And you see like a flicker with the lights. Sorry, give me a second. And Yona comes into the temple like, everyone, are you still up? And you see them all just like knocked out. It's like, Jeha, don't sleep holding alcohol, it'll spill. It's like, please overlook this, Yona. Let's have drinks with Huck once he's better. It's just so delicious I can't get enough. And Zeno's like, young lady, how is the young king? It's like, he seems slightly better. It's like, if so, that's wonderful, isn't it? And you see as she's stepping out, she's like, it's starting to rain. It's like, I want their tent to stay dry. You see later as the dragons are all sleeping, you see Gija with his claw just like poking Jeha in the face. And you see Judo, it's like all muzzled up, like getting all wet in the rain. He's like, if anyone needs sandbags, they're here. He's like, I'll take a few, Judo. He's like, sure. He's like, huh? What was that? It sounded like... And Gunte's like, hey, Judo, bring some here. It's like, you can get swept away. And you see Yona just like two sandbags like strolling on her shoulders, like running through the rain. And you see Jungi with like the water tribe guy bringing a little umbrella to cover her. With, why, Princess Yona, what are you doing? And she says, General Jungi, it's like, I want to protect my friend's tent from the rain. It's like, by yourself? You could have had soldiers do that. It's like, it's fine, I'm not busy. It's like, please get some rest. It's like, Ramaru, take care of Princess Yona's tent. It's like, yes, sir. She's like, thank you. He's like, not at all. Please keep looking out for my Riri. It's like, oh, Riri wasn't at the battle, was she? It's like, now I have an umbrella. I see a flash of lightning. And she's like, I should head back. It's like, someone's wandering off alone. It's like, where is he headed? And she's like, Huck? It's like, what are you doing? You shouldn't be up. And Huck's like, water's coming. Need to let the town know. He's like, water? Does he mean the rain? He's like, I need to tell Yun. He's like, Huck, what's wrong? He's like, run, the water. Excuse me, he's having like PTSD flashbacks. And you see Yona's like grabbing around to stop. He's like, Huck! He's like, it won't stop. It's like, I can hear the water. It's so dark. Can't see anything. Huge wave is coming. Please run. It's like, is he remembering the flood? It's like, have to hurry, or I'll fail to protect everyone again. Yona's at the palace. And Yona's like, me, Jeha, and the others were all here. Oh, sorry, so she was the one saying Yona's at the palace. You protected the Senju herbs too. Huck, it's okay now. You protected everyone. He's like, everyone? Kalgan and the others too? It's like, I see. It's over then. It's like the sound of the rain is everywhere. It's like, I need to dampen that sound for Huck. And you see you're just like reaching up and like clasping his ears to drown out the sound. It's so adorable. It's like, Your Highness. It's like, yes. It's like, Princess. And you just like grab her for a hug. It's like, Huck is so strong. And yet he's trembling. And you see, it looks like a storehouse. It's like, let's wait out the rain here. As she takes him in there to like shelter. And she's like, the sound of the rain should be quieter in here. Is this gonna become R-rated? And you see her just grabbing her from behind as he goes in for a kiss. And she's like, Huck, wait. It's like, is it really you here with me? I'm not dreaming. And he goes for another kiss. She's like, my head is still spinning. Am I in the water on the battlefield? I was so sure I'd never see you again. I can't tell if I'm alive or dead, or if this is all a dream. But would you permit me to do this? She's like, pushes her down. It's like, no, I won't. She's like, bonk. It's like, it's PG-13, Huck, PG-13. And she's just like blushing. It's like, it's too dark to see. My head's spinning too. You have so many questions. I don't have time to talk. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, it hurt so much when you were gone. Now you're in front of me, but... It's like, but what? It's like, thinking of you was painful too. But now that I can see you... It's like, what about it? It's like, He stopped trembling. It's like, did I ease some of his fears? It's like, I want to protect him. And she like just hugs him again. It's like, Princess? It's like, what is it? It's like, I want to walk by your side again. It's like, I assume you're giving me permission. So you have chapter 226, A Tender Daybreak. You have, Huck, wake up, let's go. It's like, Your Highness, yesterday... It's like, what? It's like, huh? Was it a dream? It's like, no, it wasn't. It's like, that's not good. It's like, look, the morning light is beautiful. The sky is clear. He's like, I can't hear the water anymore. And it's like the sunlight's just like dappling down on her. It's like, she's so beautiful. Like, oh. And I see back at the hand with Attendant Bro going, Lord Huck, you're not looking well. It's like, huh? It's like, it's not so bad. This is normal. It's like, no, it's not. You need absolute rest. And Yona's like, I'm so sorry, Huck. I thought your injuries must have been hurting less. And like, you should be in a lot of pain all over. Why are you apologizing? It's like, because I hit him on the head kind of hard. It's like, you what? Why? He's like, I had it coming. And Kija coming with, Huck, you look like you've recovered. He's like, no, he needs absolute rest. It's like, take a look. We had your glaive reforged. He's like, it was in rough shape. He's like, wow. He's like, we were so sure he'd be back, so we brought it along with us. He's like, thank you. You have Lord Huck. Thanks to the Senju, His Majesty's condition has improved slightly. He's not fully cured of his illness, but thank you so much. He's like, Ewan did all he could to obtain it. He's like, you should be thanking him. He's like, I will. And Huck's like, I'm going to sleep for a bit. He's like, okay, please do. And you see Ao just like crawling in, like tuck itself in with them. And Jaeha's like, I want to tell Ewan about the Senju and Huck being back as soon as possible. Yona's like, Ewan cried more than anyone when Huck went missing. And Jaeha's just like, did you really have to say that? Huck's just like, I appreciate that. It's like, the Senju might not be a miracle cure, but for a moment the two of them seemed connected again. So many feelings are welling up inside me despite all that's happened. Huck didn't want His Majesty to suffer. It's like, I wonder if we can get some Senju to Mainyan. It's like, I'd like to return to the palace soon. Jav, after the armies of Koka and South Kai battled in Kin Province, Koka claimed victory after South Kai's army retreated, but in the absence of ceasefire negotiations, Koka's army had to remain in Kin Province in case of further attacks. And you see, meanwhile, in Hiryu Palace, you have Yun going, you can't do that, Mainyan. You know I can't let you go outside, don't you? It's like, I know, but I don't understand. She's like, feels like a little temper tantrum. It's like, are you a child? It's like, I've been stuck in this shack for so long, but you're always visiting the palace town to have fun. It's not fair. It's like, I'm not having fun. I'm looking at herbs. I'll be your bodyguard. It's like, I'll be your bodyguard and beat up any freaks who come at you. It's like, Kuto isn't that lawless. It's like, I'm begging you, I'm suffocating in here. I want to see the outside world before I die. I won't run. It's like, when everyone's back, I'll ask for permission. It's like, see you later. Now as he's trying to leave, she's like, take me with you. He's like, huh? Weren't you just in your room? It's like, it's easy to divert your attention. It's like, it's too dangerous. It's like, think about who's watching you. And you see Hewley just like looming nearby, with a person keeping an eye on your Hewley, who ordinarily serves as Suwon's strongest personal bodyguard. It's like, well, fine, you can come too. She's just like happily walking outside with Yun. He's like, she's really outside. It's like, it should be okay, right? As long as someone's watching her. It's like, he's so scary. It's like Hewley's just like shadowing them from a distance. It's like, this feels so good after being indoors for so long. It's like, trust me, I have nowhere to go. And I know you wanted to go with your friends, but you stayed behind to take care of me. I won't betray you by running. He's like, honestly, having Maignan here is a relief. Waiting for Yona and the dragons and Huck to come back would be excruciating all by myself. It's like, being around you reminds me of a kid I was good friends with in South Kai. It's like, really? It's like, he liked plants, was a bit cocky, and was a crybaby. It's like, hey! It's like, I heard he became a general to take after me, so I suppose he's at war. He's like, Kaji. You have a huh? Yun? It's like, Riri and Tetra and Ira. I had no idea you were here. It's like, I thought you went to the battlefield with Yona. He's like, I had things to do here. He's like, hey, we're heading to Ogi's place. Care to come along? You might have information from the battle. Yun's like, what? It's like, I really want to know what's going on, but I've got Maignan with me. And Tetra's like, your companion is welcome too. There'll be alcohol. It's like, let's go. It's like, what? You can't. And Riri's like, it'll be fine. I'll talk to Ogi. It's like, that's not what I meant. It's a terrible idea. You see at Ogi's bar, he's like, here we are anyway. He's like, it's been a while, huh, kid? It's like, Hewley's here too. This is really bad. It's like, Maignan, I need you on your best behavior. She's like, I'm aware. It's like, Koka's going to win this war, kid. It's like, are you sure? It's like, they can't drop their guard in case South Kai attacks again, but they've already won a victory in Kin Province. Princess Yona and the Dragon Warriors are all right. It's like, I don't have that much detail yet, but we can probably assume Princess Yona is alive. It's like, ooh, of course she is. Like, that's wonderful. He's like, Huck. It's like, I wonder if they found him. You see Maignan just knocking back a bottle. It's like, Ma, you can certainly drink. It's like, Maignan, we're going now. It's like, no way. I'm having a great time with these women. It's like, just some girl talk over snacks. Or like Ira's like, let's chat about how Tetra used to adore Lord Jungi. He's like, I'll kill you, Ira. It's like, Maignan. Like, let's see, girl talk, huh? Girl talk. Something from my youth or something more erotic and grotesque? And Ira's like, something that could snap me sober. Erotic, and Tetra's like, stop that. It's like, there's a child present. And Maignan's like, he probably already died in battle. He's like, ooh, someone from your youth? It's like, or perhaps, like, it's fine, I can't see him anyway. It's like, my. It's like, it looks like I'll become, she thinks back to, is that supposed to be General Val? I can't remember. Was dark skin bro. And she's like, it looks like I'll become Emperor Chagall's concubine. It's like, I see. What do you think? If you tell me not to do it, it's like, congratulations. It's like, anyway, Val was never interested in me, so we were never a thing anyway. It's like, oh, it is someone from your youth. How bittersweet. Just let it all out. Tell us. It's like, ready? Go. It's like, Val, you're such an idiot. And Yun's like, Maignan, you're such an idiot. Behave yourself. And you see a loom as Hewley comes and grabs it. Like, no, I don't want it. I want to drink and chat more. As he's dragging her away. And Ira's like, let's do it again sometime. And Yun's like, Riri, we're leaving. He's like, oh, wait a sec. It's like, what is it? It's like, the thing is, Ogi said there have been numerous accidents in Kuto over the past few days. It's like, accidents? It's like, things that just happen now and then. A checkpoint guard drinking himself to death. A palace town guard slipping and falling into the river. Things like that. But with the king and his generals away from the palace, you should stay vigilant and be careful. It's like, that was so much fun! So much fun! I want to go back sometime. As Yun's like trying to help a drunken Maignan back. It's like, sure. It's like, I can't handle this. I'm not taking her there again. So with that said, I'm glad she didn't have an attack and could enjoy herself. It's like, Hewley, could you carry Maignan home without me? It's like, Hewley? huh? What? It's like, wait, where are you? And you see him just running off. And he's like, are you all right? It's Yuna just kind of slumps over. He's like, oh, we're fine. It's like, who's that? Don't touch me. As Val infiltrated this place. Yeah, of course. As he's like reaching out a hand. He's like, cut it out. And you see Amelia's little cat just like jumping with the sprawling. And oh ho! And she just looks at him and is like, Val? He's like, your hair's way too short. And Yun's like, huh? He's like, what are you doing here? What's going on? He's like, I think you already know. And she just like looks terrified, like slaps his hand away. He's like, leave, stay away, don't come near me. It's like, Mignon, who is this? It's like, he's hunting me down, he's here to take me back. It's like, what's going on? You're not being held prisoner, and you're so high-spirited. It's like, that's right, I'm happy here, so don't interfere. Tell His Imperial Highness I'm dead, and give Ho back to me. It's like, you've got a lot of demands. It's like, Ho chose to come and get cuddly. It's like, let go of Ho! And she like kicks him in the face, and he accidentally tosses Ho off in the air. And she like reaches out to grab it. And he's the next one. Val grabs Mignon and slams her into the ground. He's like, I'll give Ho back to you, but I can't go back empty-handed. I'm taking you back to South Kai. So you have chapter 227, Lurking Under the Cover of Darkness. And she's like, no! I'll never go back to South Kai. And Yun's like, let Mignon go. He's like, Yun, stay back. You're my patient. I can't let this happen. He's like, you're patient? He's like, oh no, Mignon's crimson sickness is top secret. And she's like, Yun tended to my injuries. He's like, I see. Thanks for taking care of her. Yun's like, huh? He seems pretty reasonable. He's like, I'll look after her going forward. And Mignon just smacks him across the jaw with a crack. He's like, you? He's like, look after me? You've got to be kidding me. Do you know what'll happen to me if I go back? The guy just looks shocked and taken aback by this as Mignon goes running away. And Yun's like, what are you going to do? He's like, head back to Hiryu Palace for starters. He can't come after me there. If I return to South Kai, I'll be tortured and killed. Yun's like, no way. But you two seem to be friends. It's like, we were, but he's an enemy now. He doesn't care about me at all anyway. And you see Riri also running up with, Yun, you still haven't gone home? He's like, oh, it's Riri. It's like, what Ogi said got me worried, so we were patrolling, and something's not right. It's like, how so? I haven't really seen any guards. It's too quiet. It's like, now that you mention it, it's kind of creepy. I'd like to inform someone in the palace, but the king and General Judo aren't here right now. So there are still defensive troops here. Let's warn them. And Mignon's like, where did old Hugh Lee go anyway? Shouldn't he be watching me? As he shivers, as he just sees like a cloaked figure standing in the street. It's like, someone's over there. It's like, this is bad. We have to run. It's like, huh? What? And Mignon just like takes off running. It's like, hurry! Dangerous people have snuck into Kuto. It's like, dangerous how? Excuse me. It's like, South Kai's assassination squad. The Dromos. God, and you see a thump as you see like this black cloaked figure just like standing on top of Mignon's shoulders with Princess Mignon, where are you going? Emperor Chagol is waiting for you to return to South Kai. She's like, I can't move. My body, it's all over. He's gonna kill me. With a slash as Tetra jumps up to slash at the hooded figure who like leaps back. And you see Ira lashing out with a kick as well. It's like, Mignon, are you okay? It's like, did she say South Kai's assassination squad? It's like, it appears things are rather worse than we imagined. It's like, doesn't squad mean he's not alone? It's like, more are coming! These like cloaked figures like dashing like low to the ground, rushing forward. Mignon's like, lend me your sword. And he just like starts slashing away to keep him back. And you see a clang as they like sword slams on one of their arms as they block. It's like, Your Highness, enough games. And Tetra's like, not bad, let me assist you. It's like, no, take Yun and run. They'll kill women and children without mercy. While I draw his attention, get Yun to safety. It's like, Mignon! It's like, I absolutely don't want to go back. I don't want to die. But more importantly, I want to protect Yun. It's like, come back to me, battle instincts, as she's like rushing forward towards them. And you see a wait as Val steps into play interception. It's like, Val, it's like, what are you doing? Do you intend to harm Lady Mignon? I was ordered to do this. Leave things to me. And you see the shadow just like retreating. He's like, who? He's like, you. And she like lashes out with her sword, which he blocks with the hilt of his sword. He's like, hey, he's like, stop it. I don't intend to fight you. He's like, fighting is my only choice. I can't believe you came with Adromos. If you or the others are harmed, I won't hold back, not even against you. He's like, I'm here to take you home. That's my only interest here. As he disarms her and slashes the sword down to pin her to the ground. He's like, why are you doing this? Just leave me alone. He's like, you're suspected of leaking intelligence on South Kai. It's like, as if I know anything of significance. So then clear your name. I'll convince His Imperial Highness not to punish you. I was like, and you think he'll listen to reason? His Imperial Highness can't stand that I escaped his grasp. It's like, why did you come to Hiryu Palace? You have no ties to this place. It's like, actually, I do. My father was from Koka. Also, I'm probably going to die soon. I wanted to be free before that happened. It's all I can say. Val's like, wait, you? It's like, I doubt that's of much interest to you. But please, let me die in peace. And you have Ira going, excuse me, so sorry to interrupt. This is obviously a complicated situation, but after listening to you, I see what's going on. My name is Tetra. And your name is Val, right? Is the blondie supposed to be Tetra or Ira? Because I feel like this volume is giving me conflicting information with regards to that. I might just have gotten confused. I'll just assume that's her name going forward. I was like, are you the Val from Mainyan's youth? She's just like staring daggers at her. He's like, huh? He's like, hold on, why are you? It's like, you mentioned his name when we were talking about crushes earlier, didn't you? You said, Val, you're such an idiot. He's like, hey, cut it out. So if you're going to rile him up or lay it all out for him, you should at least include that part without any hard feelings. He's just like giving him like little Google eyes like this, tears. And Val's just like taken aback by this. Yoon's like, look, what's going on over there? The sky's red. It's like a fire. What? It's like the town is burning. And Riri takes off running. And Mainyan's like, well, say something. Fucking Christ, bro. It's like information overload. It's like, you bastard, you put me through something this embarrassing, now you have nothing more to say? It's like, no, there's a lot to say. You're a lot more difficult than I thought. It's like, honestly, it's a hassle. It's like, I would have been happier going to battle. It's like, I would have been happier going to battle. Sorry, that's Val going, I would have been happier going to battle. It's like, what? It's like, you suddenly became His Imperial Highness's concubine. You suddenly went to Koka as an ambassador and didn't return. You suddenly cut your hair off. You suddenly think something about me. What is it? Like, shut up, I'm not telling you. It's like, I mean, you seemed happy about becoming a concubine. It's like, I did it to raise my status and increase my chances of meeting Suwon. It's like, Suwon? Why? There's still something she's not saying. It's like, you'll be punished for not bringing me back, won't you? It's like, even knowing that, I still intend to run. You should do what's best for yourself, too. But whatever you choose, this troublesome woman won't bother you anymore. This is goodbye. You have, it's a fire! Put out the flames! It's like, Mainyan, there's a fire! And you see General Val. The guards are busy with the fires in town. We'll infiltrate Hiryu Palace in the confusion. Bring Her Highness and come with us. And Yoon's like, what do you plan to do in Hiryu Palace? He's just like, oh, nothing much. And Yoon's like, I need to tell the guards. And you see one of the assassins like going up behind Yoon. He's like, what do you think you're doing to Yoon? And the assassin's like, forgive me, princess. His Imperial Highness said that cutting your legs is allowed. And as he's dashing towards you, see Val coming in with a sword blow to block it instead. And you have a clang and a skiff. He's like, damn it. He's like, oh? He's like, Val, wait. And you have chapter 228, desertion. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, do you even know what you're doing? He's like, honestly, I have no idea why it's come to this. It's like, no idea, you idiot. If you do this, it's like, General Val, that was clearly an act of obstruction. That action could be seen as a treason, a betrayal of Emperor Chaigol. The status you fought for, your friends and family, you'd be throwing away your homeland. But you are the Imperial Highness's favorite commander. Reconsider your response. Pledge allegiance to His Imperial Highness, then take Her Highness and come with us. And he goes, Emperor Chaigol acknowledged my skills even though I had no one to back me. I'm grateful for that. But from here on out, could you stop bothering her? Please forget all about us. It's like, somehow I doubt you'll relay that message to His Imperial Highness, right? See, as the assassin like lunges forward like his little claw fist weapon, like Val just goes up to block it. As you're like fighting back all the assassins. As this one of them tries to attack him from behind, Maignan comes into play, interference. You have, as expected of South Kai's greatest commander and a former general, facing you in earnest would be a waste of time. You have an So one of the assassins grabs you and goes, we'll take him in your place. We'll trade him for Her Highness. Come to Hiryu Palace. It's like, those guys. He's like, you should think about escaping. It's like, I need to save Yun. It's because he's that important to you. It's like, he saved my life. And he's my only friend here in Koka. He's like, you didn't have any friends but Ho, did you? It's like, I had friends in South Kai. A few. It's like, don't swing your sword around here. It's like, anyway, now that you've raised your sword against the Dromos, what do you plan to do? There's no turning back now. It's like, that's true. I was like, what did you mean, us? Are you okay with just you and me? Are you okay with staying with me? Maybe we'll talk about this at the end, but I feel like this is such an uninspired, like, romance. He's like, I'll live my life with you. That's fine by me. He's like, what? Is that a proposal? It's like, no, I didn't go that far. It's like, why not? From the way you were talking, it felt like you were leading up to. It's like, it's not right. There's something not right with you. This is all too sudden. I'm still processing everything that's going on. It's like, what? Then when will there be something? Then will there be something once things calm down? So let's go get your friend back. Like, he reaches out and just like grabs her hand and is like, this is... Honestly, this is kind of like... I'll talk about this at the end, I guess. And you see this ass kind of just like leaping over the rooftops. It's like, there's a fire over there and another one there. Do these people plan to do the same to the palace? Jeff, it's a fire! Hurry! Squad ZZ, head to the South Ward. And you see them infiltrating the palace and Yun's like, run! And you see him taking down one of the soldiers. And Val's like, the Dromos intend to bring you back and burn down Hiryu Palace. If we're doing this, be prepared to kill them all. It's like, wait, where are you going? The palace is that way. And Maignan's like, without Yun, I can't get in easily. I need a pass. And we can't do things like the Dromos, right? That said, remember those drills from earlier? We'll ask them for help. Riri is the Water Tribe Chief's daughter, apparently, so she can probably do something. He's like, I didn't expect you to have so many friends. He's like, out of the way, there are injured coming through. He's like, what's happening? There are fires breaking out everywhere. And Riri's like, it's arson. People from South Kai snuck in. They're targeting Kuto with most of our troops away. He's like, what? That's unforgivable. It's like, Riri. It's like, Maignan, are you alright? It's like, Yun's been kidnapped. It's like, what? It's like, they headed to the palace. We can't get in by ourselves. It's like, leave this to me. It's like, I have proof of identification, so I can help with that. Ogi, could you take care of things here? It's like, who do you think you're talking to? I know everything there is to know about this town. I'll definitely handle the fire. Besides, Juan would be in tears if this place burned down. It's like, we'll keep Juan smiling. It's like, that's right, we can't let Juan cry. It's like, I can't picture him crying. Not that guy. Well, I'm counting on you. It's like, young lady, don't be so blunt. It's like, I won't forgive them if they do anything to Yun. It's like, that's right, there'll be hell to pay. It's like, they get along well. He's like, oh, Val. Tetra's like, did you two finish talking? Have you come over to this side? He's like, no. I haven't exactly sided with Koka. It's like, you chose Maignan, didn't you? Can I at least safely assume you're not an enemy? It's like, this woman. She knows Maignan and I are from South Kai. I planned the fires with the Dromos. Shouldn't she be suspicious? It's like, hey, are you wary of me? But you see, Maignan is Yun's friend, and we have absolute faith in him. It's like, who is this Yun anyway? It's like, Maignan is such a lovely person. We only just met, but I want to protect her. Is that strange? And he's like, it might have been good that she came here. And you have, oh no, what should I do? It's like, they're picking the guards off. Is the town, are Riri and the others alright? And you have one of the Dromos going, this place will be a sea of flames. After we burn the main structure, we'll retrieve Princess Maignan at once. It's like, will she come for this child? It's like, yes, Her Highness is emotionally fragile. It's like, where are the scouts who went ahead? It's almost time. You see, Hewley just dragging one of the bloodied assassins with corpses with him as he throws in front of them with a splat. He's like, Hewley! It's like, unbelievable. Someone who can kill one of us? And you see an assassin as well, I see. Quite old, however. They must have dropped their guard. We will take more care and take our time killing you. And you see three of them just like rushing towards Hewley. Yoon's like, everyone, if only you were all here. And you see Yona kind of just looking like scared, anxious, sitting next to Hawk, and he's like, Your Highness? Yeah, so that's an extra chapter. I don't really care about that. So I guess quick thoughts on this volume before we wrap things up here. The pacing felt odd on this. Is not just me needing to like revisit the earlier volumes, like refresh my memories on like the events leading up to this stuff, but the pacing felt very rushed, at least especially in the second half with like the dramos and everything going on there. Let's we'll start at the beginning. So first half, so I think my main criticism with the first half is, again, like, while there's a lot of blood, it's starting to feel like a lot of the violence in the series going forward is becoming more and more bloodless, even though there is a lot of blood being spilled. And I feel like, was it Corral's death just coming out of left field, I think is kind of indicative of that. Because having seen that panel, having seen Huck smash him down, my first thought was not going to be anywhere close to, he absolutely like murdered that guy and took him down. So it just felt weird. Like, it felt too abrupt to have Huck be like, you're threatening my friend too. Like, I'm going to kill you now. Die. And like, he actually ended up dead. So that's part of like where it set off my sensors being like, is there a pacing issue going on? Like, is there a rush to like get this series wrapped up? But apart from that, I did like the little reunion with everyone like coming in clutch to help rescue Huck. I did love his reunion with Yona where he's like trying to get all hot and heavy and she's like, no, PG-13, you could wait for later. I did really like those moments. Apart from that, the stuff with Maignan was kind of like a super mixed bag, because I don't know, this is just like Kusanagi really loves like that dynamic of like, like hot-headed, passionate, fighty woman with stoic, tall man that, doesn't know how to process his emotions because he's emotionally stunted. But it really does not work with Val and Maignan, mostly because Val just comes off as just super incredibly ignorant and naive, whereas like Maignan's like, do you know what's gonna happen to me when you take me back to the palace? Like, what he's gonna do to me. So I don't know if he knows about the fact that Chagol constantly abused Maignan, like everything she's been through, or if he just didn't care enough. And then if you pair that with Maignan being like, I have a crush on him, and like trying to get me to buy into the idea that, he's willing to go against the Emperor because he cares about her enough and all that, a lot of that really felt flat and forced, because I'm like, I just do not buy that the man has any kind of like romantic intent or desire towards her at all, or that they were even friends at any kind of point. And I think that kind of ties into like a larger criticism I've had like this series going forward, where it feels like it really does not want to have like super flawed and nuanced characters. Like, it feels like the series is really holding back from kind of having its characters be irredeemable or do irredeemable things without being easily forgiven. And it really is kind of holding it back a lot. And I don't know if this is going to be like a trend just going forward with it. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I have to refresh my memory of some like the earlier volumes just because it's been so long since I've read them. So I don't really want to pass judgment until I've had a chance to do that. But I might do a video on that at some point. That all said, it was still an entertaining volume. Looking forward to where the next one is going to go from here. But yeah. So like I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of good read-throughs are going to be coming your way this weekend. I've already recorded Black Hammer and Yona. So tomorrow we'll do the next volume of Battle Angel Alita and either the next volume of Yona, or I might do Bride Story. We'll wait and see how that all goes. Like I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of great content coming your way. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, your support really does mean a lot to me. So if you'd like to let me know you enjoy these videos, that would mean a lot to me. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.